Welcome, Class 10 Mathematics students. We're diving straight into an incredibly visual and highly scoring topic for your board exam preparation.
Have you ever wondered how statisticians and massive companies analyze huge amounts of data just by looking at a graph? Well, today, we're going to master Ogives in the absolute easiest and most visual way possible.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll move step by step through definitions, cumulative frequency, types of Ogives, graph construction, applications, and finish up with some crucial exam tricks.
Section 1. Definitions. What exactly is an ogive? Let's build our foundation.
So an ogive is basically a graphical representation of cumulative frequency. Imagine a smooth, flowing curve that helps us effortlessly visualize data distributions. It literally shows us how many observations fall below or above certain values, making it super easy to spot trends without getting lost in a sea of numbers.
Moving right along to Section 2, Understanding Cumulative Frequency. This is our mathematical foundation.
Before you even think about putting a pencil to graph paper, you have to understand cumulative frequency. It's the absolute prerequisite for plotting any ogive. Essentially, we're just keeping a running total of our data to see exactly how many observations lie below a specific value.
Take a look at this standard raw frequency distribution table. Think of these as test scores. You've got 5 students scoring between 0 and 10, 8 students between 10 and 20, 12 students right in that 20 to 30 range, and 10 students hitting between 30 and 40. Pretty straightforward, right?
Now here is the real aha moment, where we build that running total step by step to generate our graph's coordinates. For that first class, we just keep the 5. But for the next one, we take that 5 and add the new 8 to get 13. Then we add 13 and 12, getting 25. Finally, 25 plus 10 brings us to 35. Those final numbers on the far right, that is your cumulative frequency, and that's exactly what we're going to plot.
All right, Section 3, 2 types of ogives. Less than versus more than.
Ogives come in 2 distinct flavors. First up is the less than ogive. This uses upper class boundaries and it slopes upward, climbing the chart. On the flip side, we have the more than ogive. This uses the lower class boundaries and naturally, it slopes downward. The whole trick here is just knowing which boundary you need and which direction your curve is supposed to flow.
Section 4, Step-by-Step Graph Construction. Time to see how you actually plot this thing on your graph paper.
Just follow these 4 simple steps and you're golden. First, always prepare your cumulative frequency table. Get that math done beforehand. Second, draw your axes. Third, plot your points using those upper class boundaries we just talked about. And fourth, join those points together. But remember, the x-axis is for your class intervals, the y-axis is your cumulative frequency, and those plotted points absolutely must be connected smoothly, no jagged lines.
Section 5, Applications and Interpretation. Let's see how to read this data visually.
When you're looking at a finished ogive, think of it a bit like a roller coaster. A steep, sharply climbing curve means you have high data density. A ton of observations are packed into that specific interval. But a flat, slow section, that means fewer observations. It's brilliant, really, because a simple change in steepness lets statisticians read thousands of data points in a split second. Interpreting the final graph is incredibly straightforward. Say you trace the curve and see it hits a cumulative frequency of 25 right at the x-axis value of 30. That literally just means 25 observations are strictly below the value of 30. This visual shortcut lets you compare distributions and even estimate medians without doing any complex algebra.
And you know, Ogives aren't just something stuck in your math textbook. Huge companies and analysts use these exact curves every single day. Schools use them to analyze massive batches of exam results, while businesses track rapid sales growth. You'll even see them used in meteorology, medical research, and sports analytics. It's a hugely practical tool.
Let's move to Section 6, Exam Tricks and Mistakes. This is the highest value part for your board exam prep, so definitely tune in here. Let's talk about the common traps. Students constantly lose marks for silly things, like using the wrong class boundaries or messing up the basic addition in their cumulative frequency table. But the absolute biggest exam mistake? Using a ruler to draw straight, disconnected lines between points. Remember, an ogive is a smooth freehand curve. Also, double-check that you aren't accidentally plotting the raw frequency instead of your brand new cumulative frequency.
If you want to secure those top marks, stick to this checklist. Make sure your table is super neat right from the start.
Use your scale properly on the graph paper. Mark your coordinates with total precision, and please clearly label those axes. Honestly, consistent practice is your ultimate cheat code for exam hall speed and confidence.
Let's do a really quick, rapid-fire revision to lock this into your memory, because this chapter is highly scoring. Ready? An ogive is simply a graph of cumulative frequency. A less than ogive strictly uses upper class boundaries. A more than ogive uses lower class boundaries. And cumulative frequency, that's just your running total.
If this explainer helped you figure out ogives easily, go ahead and like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Let's make math simple and fun together. But before you go, I want you to think about this. If you had to plot a cumulative frequency curve of your own daily study habits, would your ogive be climbing steeply toward success, or is it staying completely flat? Practice these graphs regularly, and I will see you in the next explainer.